They're on a 1,000-mile walk of Britain. The team of veterans, who are 660 miles into the challenge, arrived at Winchester's Great Hall for a night held by Hampshire County Council to promote the county's long military history and the charity.
We're travelling around the country trying to raise awareness of who our veterans are and what their needs are. So being able to come to a beautiful place like this with these sort of people, very important, influential people, is of great value to us. Well, today's like every day. It's about awareness. It's about making people clear on what we're doing and why we're doing it, what the charity does, and actually to try and remind people that even though the war is now over, thankfully, our wounded don't suddenly get better. And in fact, the number of wounded continues to increase because of those who are manifesting with mental injury. So it keeps these guys in the public eye. Walking 1,000 miles for anyone who is able-bodied, I would argue, is pretty challenging. For these guys who are disabled, it's an extraordinary thing to take on, let alone complete. Well, Hampshire is a place where there's a very strong link with the armed forces. And today, walking in from Salisbury, so many people we passed stopped to say hello. They knew what we were doing. They wanted to talk to the guys. They put a couple of quid in the bucket. And it's very humbling to see that sort of support.
The charity was set up in 2010 and aims to help injured service veterans reintegrate into society whilst providing security for themselves and their families. They're raising money through expeditions like this one and recent ones to the North and South Poles. The council has a role to play too.
Well, what we're hoping to achieve is to demonstrate to the military community of Hampshire that the county council, we're representing the people of the county, are fully behind and supporting what those guys are doing. We're supporting this charity appeal, but of course we support the military on what they're doing on a day-by-day basis. Today we're going to give them a cheque because we think supporting the wounded is important, so we'll give them a cheque for £5,000. But we have all sorts of schemes that help the military. I think we've got contracts of something like 1.7 million helping military personnel back into civilian life. That's very important. So there are all sorts of things that we are doing.
Walking with the Wounded is focused on getting veterans back into employment too.
I think it's particularly important to the community because it allows us to actually send a message out to the community at large, as well as to our own employees and the forces and companies out there in the county of Hampshire, that it's really important that we do whatever we can to help rehabilitate those wounded, particularly ex-servicemen and women, and to re-assimilate them into the community because they are tremendously valuable and able people. And any publicity that we can give them in this field is particularly valuable. They are a fantastic bunch of people, and the fact that they have actually had this military training and have been prepared to make the sacrifices they have, that's a demonstration, I think, certainly to me, and I think to the community at large, that these are people who actually put others first and have got a huge contribution to make.
The team set off from St Mary's Football Stadium today, heading for Gosport. They'll complete their walk of Britain at Buckingham Palace next month. John Wilson for Solent News Now.